Do you ever experience anxiety, apathy, loss of appetite, mood swings, insomnia, excessive crying, or thoughts of suicide? These are all signs of clinical depression, which can be treated with Sertraline HCl.
Depression can start as early as childhood. In your typical high school class, 4 out of 30 students is suffering from depression. These symptoms can follow you throughout your life. 3 out of those 4 high school students are still likely to be depressed as young adults. And out of these 3, 2 will remain depressed as adults. Finally, 1.5 of those 2 will still be depressed as seniors.
Though depression is common, it is not always treated properly. 6% of patients take medication without consultation. 44% take medication along with professional guidance. 13% receive guidance but do not take medication. 37% take no action to treat their depression. This could potentially have a huge impact on society, as people with depression are 3 times more likely to commit violent crimes.
Many people do not treat their depression due to the stigma surrounding it. They are often told that it is all in their head. However, depression isn't just a feeling. It occurs due to a chemical imbalance in your brain.
Serotonin is the molecule that signals happiness in your brain. In the non-depressed brain, the serotonin leaves the synapse and binds to a receptor, which signals the happiness. It will then return back to its synapse. However, in a depressed brain, the serotonin will leave and re-enter the synapse without binding to the receptor. In other words, the happiness signals cannot be sent, resulting into depression.
One way to combat depression is with Sertraline HCl, commonly taken in pill form. We will now look at how Sertraline HCl works in the depressed brain. Sertraline HCl blocks the re-entry points in the synapse that the serotonin just came from. This forces the serotonin to remain in the synaptic gap. Eventually, the serotonin will find its way to the receptors, allowing the happiness signals to be sent.
One way to visualize how Sertraline HCl works is to look at the behavior of these dogs. The big dog represents serotonin in a non-depressed brain, and the picky puppy, you will see later, represents serotonin in a depressed brain. The dog's food represents the receptors, the door represents the entry and exit point. As you can see, the big dog immediately walks out and starts eating the food. The puppy, on the other hand, leaves and re-enters the door without touching the food. Now with the door closed, the puppy can try to re-enter but fails, so she hangs around outside until she finally gives in and eats the food.
There are 4 forms of Sertraline HCl. However, only the one drawn in blue is effective in treating depression. These 4 forms are called enantiomers. As you can see, enantiomers have the same bonding arrangement, but the 3-dimensional structures in each molecule differ.
Going back to our puppy, there are 2 different doors that can be used, but only one can be effective. One door opens outward and the other inwards. When the door that opens outward is closed, the puppy can only stand and stare, not being able to enter the house. When the door that opens inwards is closed, the puppy is able to push in and re-enter, making for an ineffective blockade. Even though both are doors, only one of them is effective in keeping the puppy outside.
Always consult a doctor before taking new medication. However, if you are depressed, consider taking Sertraline HCl.
Side effects include drowsiness, sleepiness, tired feeling, insomnia, nervousness, dizziness, nausea, skin rash, headache, diarrhea, constipation, upset stomach, dry mouth, changes in appetite, impotence, weight loss, seizure, fainting, or more depression and suicidal thoughts. Please consult your doctor if you experience any of these side effects because Sertraline may not be for you.